Hello and welcome back to the GGuard challenge here on GoSu-TV1. This is going to be game 2 of a best of 3 series between Arcanys Gaming and GGuard. In game number 1, GGuard looking really solid, especially with their mid-game teamfight execution. The Earthshaker play, the Storm Spirit play was really on point from Net and Yamate. Let's see if Arcanys can stay alive and stick in for this chance of $500. It's just one best of 3 to get that prize, so it's a pretty decent amount of money for the time that they put into it. I'm GrandisV, and this time around I'm going to have Danley as a co-caster. How are you doing?
Hello, I thought I'd give you a bit of a break. You had a bit of a marathon last game, so hopefully you can rest your voice a little bit and we can have some more action this time. But GGuard, they played phenomenal last game. They were on the aggression, they kept Arcanys on their toes. It didn't really give them any chance to recover, and Yamate on that Storm Spirit, he was all over the map. If there was a team fight happening, he would just zip there. He would be there for his team. So great advantage to have that Storm. We'll see if Arcanys is actually going to give Yamate a little bit of respect and ban it out, because we did see that the Storm Spirit had a high impact last game. It was very difficult to take down. And if you tried to focus down Yamate, there was always going to be the Bristleback in the back lines. There was always going to be the Zeus. So GGuard playing phenomenal last time. Arcanys, though, we'll see if they can recover. I hope they don't have a hero like Nyx last game. Nyx is a great hero, but not when he had the kind of game that he did.
Yeah, GGuard were just on point. With all of their ward vision around the map and with the Zeus ultimates for scouting, there was just no opportunity for him to get anything done. If we do see Storm Spirit banned, I'd expect it to be in the second banning stage coming out from Arcanys, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Let's see. Vegetable Spirit banned out first, so GGuard are going to feel more than comfortable picking up the Batrider for Winter.
Yeah, keep in mind there is still going to be the Disruptor in the pool if Arcanys wants to pick that up, because it is a soft counter to the Batrider, not like the Vengeful Spirit. They can always pick up the Lion as well. The Lion's always going to be great with the Hex too, but Batrider is still going to be a very, very important hero for GGuard, especially when it comes to pick-off. So with this Batrider pickup, I feel that GGuard, they're going to do something similar to last game. They're going to go for predominantly a pick-off oriented team and just start snowballing from that point on. Whereas Arcanys, this Earthshaker pickup that they have just drafted themselves, it feels like it's a bit of a counter pick, as not a counter pick, but a deny pick to GGuard. Because I know Net, he plays a great Earthshaker, he plays a great Sand King, so they need to deny it because they don't really want to ban these supports. Because you have to keep in mind that GGuard, their cores do a lot of the heavy lifting as well, but also the supports on GGuard. I know their supports. Their supports are literally tier 1 supports, if I want to say anything. So Arcanys, I can feel their pressure.
Yeah, for sure. And Earthshaker is also somewhat of a soft counter to Batrider, just offering a long-range way to disrupt the lasso initiation with Fisher. All around, he's just a really good hero, and although there's a lot of things to contribute to this pick, I think it's just a perfect storm for getting Earthshaker first. Arcanys, we'll have to see how they want to follow this one up. Earthshaker, although he is a great hero and all, he does suffer somewhat in trying to zone out the Batrider in the early game, so they will want a stronger support to follow him up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the disadvantage with any sort of melee support, and against a Batrider, it's an absolute nightmare. Couple of supports that you could pair up with the Earthshaker. You can go for the pretty standard Lion. There's still going to be the Witch Doctor in the pool, so if you want to have that, then at least the Earthshaker can buy the Witch Doctor a little bit of time for the Death Ward. There's still a Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage and Earthshaker used to be the #1 duo roaming support, just because you had both of them had long range initiation spells. You had the Skywrath Mage with a lot of the burst damage. You had the Earthshaker who would also have the Echo Slam if there was a creep wave nearby. So Arcanys, they may pick up a Skywrath Mage, because GGuard, they've drafted a Queen of Pain for Yamate this game. This could also be a Ben Queen of Pain. We could be wrong, but we'll have to see for the moment. But I feel like Skywrath Mage may be coming up shortly for Arcanys, but this is just some speculation coming out from my side.
Arcanys pick up the Bristleback to follow up that Earthshaker. Pretty melee heavy for the time being, but still reasonable. Bristleback in the last game was really annoying for them to deal with, and we'll have to see how they're going to play these heroes. It seems that it's a case of them trying to give GGuard a little bit of their own medicine. Next stage of bans is going to come out with Meepo banned by GGuard and with Disruptor banned by Arcanys. The Meepo ban, although it might look really odd, Bristleback and Earthshaker are some of the best heroes against Meepo, so I suppose that might be something to come into play, or it could be somewhat of a not ban from GGuard. In either case, unfortunately, we're not going to see him played.
I feel like it's just a respect ban to Arcanys. There may be a Meepo player on the side of Arcanys, and GGuard, they just don't want to have anything to do with a Meepo. And yeah, Meepo, if you let him snowball, if he gets that fast Ags, if he gets those Boot to Travels and that Blink Dagger, he can really burst down, especially some of those super squishy heroes. And Queen of Pain, if you net that Queen of Pain, she can't blink anywhere. So that Queen of Pain would have essentially been food for a really fed Meepo. So most likely a respect ban from GGuard. The final ban for GGuard, though, is going to be the Zeus. So there's going to be no Zeus for Arcanys if they wanted to draft it themselves. We saw how powerful it was last game winter. Those Thunder God Wraths giving the GGuard so much vision and potentially wasting the time of Arcanys when they were trying to go for ganks at that point. So no Zeus. We have a Wisp ban coming out from Arcanys, though. Surprising. We don't really see too much Wisp in Southeast Asia.
Would have still been a reasonable pick for GGuard. A lot of potential to set up global kills with back Queen and Pain plus Wisp. Arcanys will pick up a line. This is going to be their pretty strong laning support to pair with the Earthshaker, and more than anything, their supports are just loaded with disables. Fissure, Earthspike, and Hex, you can keep that Batrider in place for a super long time. And even though Batrider usually can get over Fissure with Firefly, this might not be the case since he is going to be locked down for upwards of 4 to 5 seconds.
Yeah, there is burst potential now with these two supports. So Earthshaker and Lion, if they really want to, they can roam around as a duo or potentially a trio, depending on what core they'll bring along. They've got the Finger of Death if they don't have enough damage output. They've got their Earthshaker there for the constant lockdown. Also the Lion for constant lockdown as well. So I feel like Arcanys, they saw GGuard being aggressive last game. I think they want to turn the tides and say, okay, we're going to control the tempo of this game. We are going to bring it to you. So we'll see how this actually turns out for Arcanys. Their last two heroes are going to be crucial in determining whether it's going to be this aggressive draft from Arcanys or if they're going to have that 4 protect 1 draft where they'll have those 4 heroes to roam around, try to grab kills and buy space with that hard carry. I feel like Arcanys, though, they will play aggressive. They're not just going to sit back and relax because they know how GGuard will play aggressive, especially Yamate, who is probably going to be playing that Queen of Pain. So, aggressive Sea Dota. Are you prepared, Grandis?
For sure. Witch Doctor going to be the next pickup for GGuard, and it's going to offer them a lot of damage to follow up the lasso from the Batrider. Channeling a Death Ward off of a lasso is a pretty cool combination there. And as far as the top tier supports that were left available, Witch Doctor is probably one of the better ones. Can be very disruptive for the Bristleback as he tries to maneuver through the fights with just an awkward paralyzing cask. The extra sustain is nice. There's really nothing bad about Witch Doctor, with the exception being that he is super squishy, especially when you have Alina and a Lion on the enemy team. The amount of burst damage that Arcanys can pump out is pretty ridiculous.
Oh my god, they really picked up Alina. So this is most likely going to be a Corlina coming out from Arcanys. You mentioned the amount of burst damage coming out from them as well. One thing I want to make note of, though, Arcanys drafted this Lina. Before she gets that Yule Scepter, she is going to be quite easy to pick off herself. She's a very slow-moving hero. Her stun actually has a pretty much a cast time to it. So if GGuard are on their toes, especially whoever's going to be going up against that Lina, I feel like Lina this game, if she can't grab a kill in the mid lane, she is going to struggle, especially up against the Queen of Pain. But depending on that bottle timing as well, if Lina can grab the early bottle, then I feel like Lina can turn the game in her favor with the amount of harassment that she could throw out with the Dragon Slave and the Light Strike array. But this Lina this game, Arcanys feeling a little bit squishy though. They've got 4 very squishy heroes now. I feel like they need to round it out with something a little bit tankier that can sit not in the front lines, but just kind of sit back and just soak up a little bit of the damage so that the Lina can really sustain during that fight. Maybe they'll have to pick up a mech this game. Bristleback could pick that up, actually.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how much the Bristleback is going to be able to function as that frontline tank. He'd love to, but especially if he's put into the offlane, it might not be a possibility. It's going to be an Undying ban coming out from GGuard. The Venomancer pickup from them is going to angle them very aggressively. It's unclear whether this is a support or a core Veno. It's probably going to be laned as a support. Any thoughts?
No, I feel like this is going to be a core Venomancer. I've seen in the past anyway, you might not have. But support Venomancer, he's actually quite a weak support. Whereas if you give him those levels as that core, he's probably going to go in the mid lane. Or he might go safe lane to pick up an early mechanism. We're not too sure. They might put Ben on the Queen of Pain. If I'm not mistaken, Ben does play a lot of Queen of Pain himself. Just going to take a look at my stats. Not too sure. But we may see this as a core Venomancer. He's great at farming. He is such a strong one-on-one hero that it's almost impossible for a lot of those other solo one-on-one heroes to beat a Venomancer. And also, when you give this Venomancer level, that means he's putting more and more points into the Poison Nova as well as the Venomous Scale. And Arcanys, who's drafting such a squishy lineup, these heroes are probably not going to be able to survive a full combo coming up from a high-level Venomancer. So I feel like this is a smart pickup from GGuard to pick up this Veno because he has a lot of potential damage outburst. Not in small bursts, but more so sustained damage.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how they end up shuffling down these lanes. If they do lane him as a core, it would leave them pretty limited when it comes to their late game scaling damage, but maybe just the power of getting all those heroes, the farm could end up tiding them over, but definitely not against a sniper. At this point, Arcanys are pretty protected when it comes to their sniper, with the Bristleback in the front lines and a lot of disables to keep the enemy at bay. Although there is a blinking Batrider and a blinking Queen of Pain, I think the power of their Earthshaker might be enough to keep this sniper safe. There's still a Storm inside this pool. It's not the greatest of Storm games for sure, but maybe, just maybe, GGuard want to pick up something along that caliber in order to punish the sniper pick.
Yeah, definitely. Storm, one of the soft counters to Sniper. Also, let's not forget, though, there are a couple of other heroes. Any heroes with a gap closer can definitely pick up the Sniper. I don't really want to mention the Phantom Assassin just because this is not the best Phantom Assassin game, just because of how squishy she is to all the magical bursts, but Faceless Void, just as good, and that's going to give really nice synergy as well to the Witch Doctor with the Death Ward. So I like the last pickup for GGuard. So we are going to have a Venomancer support. I haven't seen this in a long time. This is so old school.
The Gale is going to be really annoying for Arcanys, in particular the Bristleback as he tries to move through the fights, but yeah, we'll just have to see who's going to get the farm priority out of these two supports. Both of them are usually played in the 4 position. They both love to get their Aghanim Scepters or a Blink Force Staff between them. Either way, let's see. With the current assignments, it's going to be Net on the Veno and Ling on the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, so we got our 2 supports already picked up. We're obviously going to get Yamate and the Queen of Pain. Who else is going to play that lovely mid-hero? Winter's going to be playing that Batrider, though. So we'll see how Winter does. I haven't really seen Winter play too much Batrider. Maybe I just don't watch that many GGuard games. I'm such a loser.
I don't know, from what I remember of Winter, he does love his bat. He is going to be playing in that hero for the Radiant side. It is GGuard, Yamate on the Queen of Pain in mid, Ling on the Witch Doctor, Venomancer played by Net, and Faceless Void by Ben. Really the only one we didn't talk about before we load in the game, but either way, that's going to be how things shake down for the Radiant.
Alright, so on the side of Arcanys, who is going to be playing on the Dire side, we have Mighty Savior, who will be handling our Sniper in the safe lane. On our line, we're going to have, how do we pronounce this? Whiskers. On our Earthshaker, we're going to have Job Real Ramos. In the middle lane, on our Lina, we're going to have Heinrich. And lastly, in the off lane, on our Bristleback, we're going to have Playhard.
Playhard currently looking to drop down his ward, going pretty aggressively alone for this. He bumps into the Witch Doctor, and it looks like he's not going to be able to get this out safely. But do GGuard have enough killing potential? They're going to slow him down with the Time Walk. Coming in, Net from the sidelines, has the Gale. Gale's going to miss, juked out by the Bristleback, and now Playhard's completely fine. Although there's a cast to follow it up, they probably don't have the damage, although this is going to force out the salve, or Playhard to go all the way back to base.
Yeah, I feel like Playhard's just going to go back to base at this point, unless it's just going to hang around for a little bit longer. I feel like you still have plenty of time to really go back to the base as a Bristleback. I think he is going to make a beeline for the fountain. There's no point wasting a salve this early if you can go back to the fountain and come back to the lane in time. He has enough money for a teleport scroll anyway, so not too bad for the Bristleback. If he died though, that would have been a bit of a different situation. That was a very, very nice juke though from the for actually avoiding the venomous Gale. That is the disadvantage to running a Venomancer. The Gale, it's got a similar width to a Ice Path from a Jakiro, and well, it's not going to linger like the Ice Path, so bit of a disadvantage, but Net, let's see if he can have a bit of a redemption Gale later on in the game.
And for the time being, it's still going to force out a TP, and put the Bristleback into a position where he's going to ward in a suboptimal spot and force him to not get a block. It's still worth it, dropping the mana for that. Mid lane, both of these heroes did get the bounty rune to start things off, and so both of them will be towards the bottle at a pretty similar rate, although for the time being Lina did ferry out a salve, so maybe hers is going to be slightly behind. Who knows?
Yeah, it's not too bad though for Lina. She's got quite a bit of regen. She's going up against a Queen of Pain, and in all honesty, it's much better to sit in lane and not get too much CS than to actually die and have to come back again, just because you're going to lose when you lose gold when you die, and obviously you're going to lose some levels. So I feel this is the right decision coming out from the Lina. So once she actually gets that bottle out, then Yamate is going to have to be careful with some of the harassment that this Lina is quite potentially able to bring out eventually. In the offlane though, Winter, he's playing around with Whiskers at the moment with this camp. He will throw a couple of napalm stacks onto the line and just firefly this camp out. And, well, in all honesty, what can Whiskers really do to Winter at this point? Winter's level 2. Poor Whiskers, he's getting close to level 2, but he's kind of sharing EXP with the Bat Rider. But in all honesty, Winter's not going to be upset with this at all. I miss our first blood. Oh well, first blood there going in the way of GGuard. Nice pickoff. That was with the Gale. Yes, there was a Gale, as well as the cask and a time walk. So good stuff from GGuard to secure first blood on that Bristleback.
Yeah, he's going to definitely have a harder time than the Batrider, and even if they had an even footing when it comes to the laning stage, Winter has the ability to fall back and take stacks, already a handful of them prepared by his team. Although Bristleback eventually can take some Ancients for himself, which are stacked up, it takes a little bit more than just having level 2 before he's able to do that comfortably. Lanes are looking pretty passive for the time being. Earthshaker's been pretty nomadic as Jabriel Ramos has been sitting, for the most part, behind the Lina in mid, making sure that there's no jumps, but this is also going to cost him a lot of experience. He's going to be stuck at level 1 for quite some time.
Yeah, but I think that's the great thing about Earthshaker, though. Earthshaker, he's a great hero that doesn't really need too many levels, just because you can have a high-level Earthshaker for the damage output, but he just provides so much utility with just that fissure as well as the enchant totem once it's buffed up with the aftershock. So I feel like it's okay if they sack this EXP on the Earthshaker. They're getting EXP elsewhere, in the off lane, in the mid lane, as well as their safe lane. So for the moment, just keep everyone safeguarded, and so that especially that Lina gets her bottle. Well, she has the bottle now, but once she gets that level 6, she can rotate around with the Earthshaker, and hopefully from that point on, then at least Ramos will be able to get something.
Net rotating in mid, TP's to the tower, and unfortunately is a little bit slow on picking up that bottle, so they don't get the refill onto Yamate. So a little bit of a lost opportunity there. He doesn't really accomplish much with that TP either, so I don't know, a bit awkward. Still, it doesn't cost them that much. The 4-minute runes are going to be spawning shortly, as the Witch Doctor is actually trading blows with Playhard. The Maledict is going to be off the mark, and now Playhard might be able to kill off Ling if he sticks around too long, with Quills stacking up on both the Void and on the Witch Doctor. Neither of them can feel comfortable going for that any further. Bristleback will be fine to back off and salve up, as he's going to stick in this lane.
Yeah, he's actually not revealing the fact that there is an Observer Ward in the jungle, which it's a very cute play from Playhard, because he's going to use this to his advantage at some point, just to not grab kills for himself, but also use it to keep himself alive in the off lane. So good stuff coming out from Playhard. He doesn't want to overextend, which is pretty much the right play at this point, just because he's going up against a pretty strong dual lane. But Ben throwing a couple of hits at to Playhard, but it's not really going to accomplish anything. If he hit him a couple more times, it just would have been a cool spray to the face. That's the most annoying thing, but they are going to jump onto Playhard. There's the Gale, and unfortunately Bristleback, no way to escape, so that's going to be a second kill going in the way of GGuard. So nice little rotation coming out from your Venomancer.
Yeah, there was an attempted fissure in mid that ends up not connecting onto the Queen of Pain, so I mean, she'll be able to survive. GGuard starting out pretty nicely for their team at 2-0. The ward was just a little bit, I don't know, out of vision for the Venomancer. I don't think it caught him while he was walking around this corner, so he's able to sneak in for that Gale. Honestly, I think the Bristleback should have saw that coming a little bit sooner. He was expecting the Venomancer to just stay inside the jungle, and for the most part, that's where Net has been, but good rotation, and they'll find themselves a kill richer because of it. Winter's now found himself level 4 and has a couple of stacks meeting him in the jungle. Looks like this large camp and medium camp are the ones that are primarily being focused by the supports.
Yeah, Winter's actually getting quite a bit in the offlane. Typically, you'd like to see the Lion harass the Batrider out a little bit more, but Winter's been getting quite a bit of free space up top, which is something that Arcanys does not want. So they're going to have to deal with him at some point, or they're just going to have to try and win the other lane somehow. But it's very hard for Arcanys to really win any of the lanes unless they can try quickly burst down Yamate, or if they can just go for a quick 2 support rotation with play hard to go for a kill onto Benz. But if you look at GGuard's draft, they've got so many mobile heroes. They've got the Firefly. There is going to be a jump on the bottom lane. They play hard. He's going to be the primary target. And yet again, he's going to be giving his life away. So another kill to GGuard. The Bristleback has been playing quite aggressive in this lane, and he's died quite a few times. I feel like he might just have to tone it down a little bit, because he is giving not just EXP and gold to Ben, but also the 2 supports on GGuard, who do very, very well with farm.
Definitely so. At this point, coming down to the bottom lane is incredibly risky. If all 3 of those heroes are there, TP up towards top from the Venomancer is potentially going to be in some trouble. The Earthshaker's in a good spot for a fissure block, and now they're going to go for it with the Assassinate flying through, with Shrapnel on the ground. Looks like Net's going to give up his life very easily too, as the Lion picks up the first kill for Arcanys. Really awkward spot to be caught out, as the Venomancer, all he wanted was experience in the Bat's absence as Winter farms up his stacks.
Yeah, so very patient play coming out from Ramos in the top lane, but they finally grab a kill, and it's probably on one of the best heroes to really grab it, which is Whiskers on the Lion. I feel like Whiskers, he's going to be the farming support on the side of Arcanys, so the faster he can get the Blink Dagger, the better for them, because it means that they're not just going to have the... They don't really have too much initiation, actually. If you look at Arcanys' draft, they won't really have it until they have a Yules on their Lina, or if they have a Blink on Whiskers, or a Blink on Ramos. They don't really have an initiator. They could use the Bristleback, but all he's going to do is just run at the enemy, and what does he do beside Quills? So they really need to grab a really big item. Nice kill, though, from Heinrich on the Queen of Pain. So Yamate not expecting that burst coming out from the Lina.
Yeah, if a Light Strike Array lands on the Queen of Pain, there is that killing potential, and Heinrich is going to end up showing it off. 1-0-0, the Lena's doing pretty well for herself in the mid lane. Out CSing the Queen of Pain, now that solo kill completely tips the scales into her favor. Should be the Yule's Scepter soon, and that will help quite a bit. Venomancer going to bump into the Earthshaker yet again, but this time around he's in a much more favorable position. We'll just zone out the Earthshaker with a ward, and he'll casually walk away. Everything's going to be just fine.
Yeah. So there's one good thing actually for Arcanys there. It's not just the mid lane Lina, but Mighty Savior on the Sniper, he is leading the CS charts by quite a margin. 58 CS on this Sniper, so he's getting quite a bit of farm himself. I feel like GGuard, they're going to have to make a move on this Sniper eventually, because he's been getting free farm all game. He's had no one to really contest him. The Lion has been fighting up against the Batrider again. Oh, play hard, really. I feel like I want to say his name's more of Die Hard in this offlane. He's been dying quite a few times. He's actually been giving all of the kills to GGuard.
Yeah, it's really been unfortunate. I think he just needs to not come to bottom anymore. It's not working out. It hasn't been working out, and probably just go fall back and farm up your Ancients. Whiskers up towards top, gonna drop pretty low to Net, but with an Assassinate through, and the Shrapnel damage, it's going to be just enough to get that kill. Whiskers is going to be able to walk away just fine. The tier 1 tower ends up falling, I believe, to the Sniper. Mighty Savior, as if he needed any more farm acceleration, is currently sitting on about 5,000 net worth here at sub 9 minutes in.
He's got a Sange, actually, which... It gives him a little bit of a nice HP boost. Do you think this is going to be a Sange and Yasha? Rush?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah? That's the only thing I can really come up with, because you would never really see a Halberd on a Sniper. In all honesty, it's probably one of the last items to pick up on him. So, it's interesting to not go for Mask of Madness, but I feel like this game, Mask of Madness, it would be more of a suicidal item pickup just because there's so much burst on the side of GGuard. So, interesting pick for the Sniper, and... I see the advantage to it, so I'm not going to really say anything about it.
Yeah, he might still go back for the Mask of Madness later, but we'll just have to see. Keep an eye on Mighty Savior's items as the game progresses. Heinrich pretty low on mana inside the middle lane, but he has an Earthshaker behind him. The Queen of Pain's burst damage at this point is probably enough to get that kill, but she doesn't have her ultimate yet, so she would need some sort of intervention. That probably would come out from the Batrider, who does have his Blink freshly picked up. There's no smoke on his person, but maybe he can get one of his supports to buy it. Mighty Savior sitting up towards top, looking for this Venomancer kill pretty aggressively. He's been sitting around inside these trees for the longest of times. Now Venomancer is feeling safe enough to walk up. He could just get run down by the Sniper. Between headshot and Sange slows and shrapnels, there's nothing that Net can do with this situation except for bringing in Yamate. They'll lose Net for sure, but now with the jump in from Batrider, they'll be able to get a lasso up into Mighty Savior. They'll pull him back, but the damage isn't immediately there. Now with the Death Ward it is, and they'll be able to make that a 1-for-1 trade that vastly favors GGuard. Ling, after so many kills on the Bristleback, is now dominating.
Man, that was a very cute play coming out from the sniper, but if he could have gotten the kill a little bit sooner and did not get hit by the gale, then it would have been a bit easier for him to maybe make for an escape. And also there was a missed earth spike coming out from Whiskers, which was a little bit unfortunate.
The Batrider spots her when she's farming very low, but the fog from that tree before the ward was placed is enough to save her life, at least for the time being. But still, yeah, I think that errs on the side of being a little too cute. It is going to be an SNY for the sniper. He's going to have that very shortly. Even after that death, he's still doing all right for himself, but a step in the right direction for GGuard.
Yeah, but surprisingly enough, Mighty Savior is still topping the CS charts, but we are having the Faceless Void quite close in terms of CS. So Ben, he's in a good position. He's got his Mask of Madness. He's got Chronosphere up. So if anyone actually shows their face in lane, if the Witch Doctor is nearby, they can just easily land a kill for Ben. So I'm pretty sure Arcanys, they should know this. So they're just going to give Playhard this Ancient stack for the moment. It's a triple stack. He's just going to show us back to the Ancients and he'll just pop a couple of cool sprays. He is going to drop quite quickly though, but as long as he is starting to get some sort of farm, because in the bottom lane, he hasn't really been able to get too much. He's died quite a few times, so we'll see what he wants to grab. Oh my god, really? Really? Another kill under Mighty Savior onto Net, so I feel like Net on the Venomancer just being a little bit too aggressive in his positioning in that top lane.
Yeah, I think Nat and Playhard have really been a little bit too aggressive. Blinking mid with the lasso onto poor Lina. There's nothing that the Lina can do in this situation. She has no Yule Scepter available, already used it, and is going to end up going down. She drops a Laguna Blade before she falls, but far away from being able to get the kill on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, there's actually not that much vision on the side of Arcanys. They've only got one Observer Ward so far, which is going to be the one in the top lane, which is about to expire. So I feel like they need to start getting some wards out. I don't know if Mr. Whiskers will buy it or if it's going to be the Earthshaker Ramos. They need to get some vision out because you're going up against a draft that has so much mobility. If you can see these are coming, then they can somehow just go for counter plays, but they're going to lose the sniper in the top lane. Benz, that was with the Chronosphere as well, so we mentioned the Chronosphere. It was up, and they go for a big kill. They're not just going to wait for somebody to come to Ben's lane. Ben is going to go into the sniper's lane.
Yamate going to get fissured in mid, but there's not enough damage or follow-up for this. With the Lina absent, Yamate is just going to be able to cleanly blink out of there. Looks to be an Aghanim Scepter first for the Queen of Pain, but yeah, the supports were missing off of the map. Arcanys were bluffing with that sniper entirely. Yule Scepter, Light Strike array up top with Laguna Blade. Easy kill for Heinrich. Can he get out? Looks like he will. This Void, afraid of some sort of intervention from the line or Earthshaker, is going to time walk away and he'll be out to safety, but the line and Earthshaker are both currently mid. It looks like they were spotted out by that ward, but in the end, better safe than sorry for Ben.
Yeah, I love the ward placement coming out from GGuard. They've got so many aggressive wards that they're giving Winter a lot of vision before these ganks happen so that they can actually go for a beautiful ultimate coming out from Yamate. It connects onto two heroes. Playhard's going to be the first one to go down. Ramos looks like he will be able to get away though. No one is nearby. Yamate not going to go for the overextension. So again, nice pickup for GGuard. And they didn't even have to use the lasso for that. So if anyone sticks around in that middle lane on Arcanys, they will be lassoed. Winter is waiting. Instead though, we might see action down that bottom lane.
Mighty Savior has some backup from the line, and now faces Void's going to bump straight into Whiskers. He's going to get a bash, however. He's going to get hexed up. Ben now turning around. The Assassinate's going to fly through, as well as an Earth Spike. There's no Finger of Death ready, and now Whiskers in a bit of a compromising position with only 300 HP. He's going to be lassoed up. Winter's getting shot down by the sniper. The Sunshell is going to be annoying, but it looks like they'll lose Whiskers just the same, or will they? With the Death Ward, they will. Eventually, they have to commit it. Now going to start damaging Mighty Savior. Mighty Savior hardly dropping low at all, but the Sanji Nyasha is pretty darn tanky, or at least tankier than most snipers. It's just one kill. In the meantime, Queen of Pain in mid, blinking away, going to barely survive the onslaught of Heinrich and Playhard, and it looks like that's going to be all she wrote. Queen of Pain is more than far enough away to keep herself alive.
Laguna was used prior, really, to the gank, so unfortunately that was on cooldown, or it was actually used, but they don't really have enough to burst down Yamate and the Queen of Pain. That point booster as well as the Ogre Club. If he did not have the Ogre Club, then Yamate potentially would have gone down there just because he wouldn't have had the HP pull, but he's picked up the items to really tank himself up. So if Arcanys actually wants to commit to killing this Queen of Pain now, they're going to have to bring in a little bit more than just Alina. They might have to commit a Finger of Death and a Laguna Blade to pick her off. They just don't quite have the damage to take down Yamate as of yet.
Yeah, if they had the line and the Lina there, I think they have enough CC to drop her down, so they only have to use one of the ultimates, but at the very least, they will have to commit more than just the bristleback. At this point, he really isn't contributing that much. Once he has the mechanism, however, maybe he can help out the team in general. For the time being, they'll sit Mighty Savior down towards bottom with the support of both the Earthshaker and the Lion. Faceless Void is not a very easy kill, and he has a Chronosphere. There's potential to turn around if they go too aggressive under the tower, but it seems that things are just going to stay the way they are, at least for the time being. GGuard are going to bring in Ling over in the sidelines, drops a ward, and well, that's about all she wrote.
Yeah, Winter's almost got this 4-staff, unless it's coming on the courier. I believe it is. No, it's just a smoke, so Winter's going to go for a smoke, and I think they see these heroes down bottom. They're just going to try and go for a smoke gank and go for a nice quick pick off, because Arcanys, they want to be aggressive. They're using the sniper as bait, and Ramos as well as Whiskers, they are nearby in case they do jump to take the bait, but it looks like they're just going to make an escape. They're probably thinking that there are more heroes down the bottom lane than there actually are, so safe plays here from Arcanys, but will they keep on going? They're still hanging around. They don't really want to go all the way back. Never mind. They're going to go for a old complexity play here. The fake back into smoke place. Let's see if they can try and grab a kill with this.
They'll look for Ben, opening up with a Fissure as well as the Hex. He's going to backtrack the Finger of Death. The X-Slam comes through, the Assassinate, but Ben's still alive. Man, backtracking ultimates is so stupid. My goodness. Finger of Death would have secured that kill on any other day, but today the gods were in Faceless Void's favor, and he's going to survive.
I'm pretty sure Ben will just be laughing to the fountain at this point. He's just going to be laughing next to Ling anyway. He will be healed up and he is going to be able to go back into the lane, but that was super unfortunate for the Lion. But yeah, if that did not backtrack, they should have gotten the kill, and that's with the Chronosphere. Oh, Arcanys, they hang out for way too long. That's with the Fissure to disconnect Ben, but it looks like they might get one. No, Mighty Savior is still alive. Whiskers, though, taking a little bit of the death ward, as well as Ramos, and Lina is nearby. They will get the kill onto Ben, so GGuard, they were hoping to get a counter kill, but unfortunately, they got counter killed. Yeah,
the Assassinate this time around not going to be backtracked. Lina, in the meantime, solo killed the Queen of Pain to start that fight off. And GGuard, even though Death Ward is pretty significant at the moment, Arcanys are building pretty tanky on their sniper, and it's going to work out pretty nicely for them. They were just falling very short of all three of those kills. Arcanys were very good about juggling the distance between that Death Ward and themselves. Net has gotten a lot of space up towards top, now sitting on level 9 on the Venomancer, so he is doing a lot when it comes to these Plague Wards, as well as having the level 1 into the Poison Nova, and also having the mana to sustain that with the Arcane Boots. But regardless, GGuard haven't really been taking that many fights with their whole team. It's been a lot of small-scale skirmishes, and for the most part, it's been favoring them, but that last one going really nicely for Arcanys.
Yeah, Arcanys needed those kills, so they got what they really wanted, and they just back off. They won't grab the tower, though. The tower's a little bit too healthy. They don't really have too much tower pushing potential, not like GGuard, especially with Net on the Venomancer. And I like that he picked up these Arcane Boots, especially the fact that he is
Heinrich caught out by the Blink Lasso with a Sonic Wave. It's hardly going to be not enough damage. Drop down, he's going to pop his stick, and then get right-click down. Yamate isn't going to be fissured up. He's not stunned, blinks in for the Scream. Heinrich going to get a little bit of heal, and that might be enough with the Light Strike Array. Turns around for the Laguna Blade, and Heinrich survives, killing off the Queen of Pain.
I just want to sit here clapping like a seal, but we may see more stuff happening soon. Nope, looks like GGuard, they're going to back off, but Yamate, way too greedy for those kills. He wasn't expecting all that burst coming out from the Lina, but all of a sudden Lina turns around, tiny bit of HP, take this! And that was pretty much about it. She just hit the kill switch onto Yamate. Great stuff by Arcanys. Nice, calm, and collected stuff by Heinrich. Although he is going to run into Ling, heals onto the Witch Doctor. We do have Net nearby, but what can he really do to save his teammates? So easy kill. That's an unstoppable streak on the Witch Doctor ended as well. Heinrich could be happy with that pickup.
More than halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter now after those kills, and they also get space for the Sniper to push the tier 1 bottom in the meantime. Arcanys, that's nothing but wins around the map. At the moment, GGuard are losing a lot of their momentum. And, well, suddenly, the net worth is now 2,000 gold in the favor of Arcanys, and experience for the first time in a long time is now in their favor as well. Although it's not an unsurmountable lead, it's still pretty darn nice.
Yeah, it's pretty even so far, actually. Although Arcanys, they are mounting a little bit of a net worth lead, so bit of a win there so far. GGuard, it looked like they had the game for a while, but unfortunately, due to some nice plays by Arcanys, as well as a couple of missteps from GGuard, they get punished. Now Whiskers, he wants to go for an aggressive play, just going to go straight for a TP. I think he knows that Ben's nearby as well as Ling, so he's just like, yeah, I'm pretty much out of here, boys, I can't help you. So they do manage to get the Observer Ward down. So this might be where Arcanys are going to be on the offensive now to grab their own kills. No blink on the heroes though, so no way for anyone to really jump into the middle of the fray if necessary.
Ben has Chronosphere at the ready, but yeah, that line is very lucky to be alive. He was spotted out by a Radiant Observer Ward going for that word, so well, his Observer is going to be taken out by Ling, but at the very least he doesn't die. It costs Lion a lot of time in a TP, but it's still going to be able to save up towards that blink. Sniper going to drop some Shrapnel, trying to catch vision of a handful of GGuard heroes. Spots out the Witch Doctor, but they'll just take the tier 1 tower. Pretty easy for them too. Aghanim Scepter is now for the Queen of Pain. GGuard are prepped and ready to take a fight. Let's see if they can catch anybody on the retreat. Looks like the answer is no.
Yeah, everyone on Arcanys are pretty much out of there. They got what they wanted and they're just going to back up. They do not want to give away what advantage they have managed to pretty much grab at this point. So safe place coming out from Arcanys. GGuard though, Winter's still waiting for something to happen in the top lane, but he will eventually see them heroes, and Ramos is going to be the first one to reveal himself. So I hope Winter plays patiently. He cannot just rush for this kill onto Ramos, but he looks like he really wants his Earthshaker. Lion is going to be nearby, so Whiskers, he's going to be there to try and save his buddy, but it looks like they might lose the Earthshaker anyway. Yeah, they're just going to leave him dead. They thought there were more heroes there, but unfortunately, Earthshaker goes down quite easily.
Time walk in mid. Chronosphere on a Mighty Saber and Heinrich trying to focus down the sniper first. Yamate has the Aghanim Scepter ultimate going to drop through both of them with the Witch Doctor going towards Heinrich. He's still on a decent amount of HP, going to start bottling up, ready to get back in this fight, but still a worthwhile trade for GGuard, although it costs him a lot of ultimates. They get one of the highest priority kills that they can get in that sniper pick.
Yeah, there is going to be a smoke though coming out from Arcanys, so they're not going to let up on the aggression as of yet. They're not going top though. They're going to go for a kill in the mid lane. Will they find anybody, though? The only hero nearby, really, is Yamate. They might be able to catch out Ling if they go right around. Never mind. Never mind. They want Net up in the top lane. He's quite far, though. So, nah, never mind. Heinrich, he wants something in the middle lane. Who is he going to find? Yamate? No, Yamate is going to blink out, as well as Ling's going to just pretty much continue along into the jungle. Can Lina find anything though? There is a sentry, but no observer ward, so they won't see Lina coming. So there's the Yules. There's with the stun follow-up as well. Dragon Slave, they've got the ultimate ready, but he's actually not even going to bother using it because he's pretty much got Ling trapped in the trees. But well, Ben, he's going to be there as well. Oh, the Laguna Blade can be hitting onto Ben. He dies anyway, even though BKB was popped because that was a Ags on the Lina. But they lose the Lion. Play hard. He's going to have to try and go for a TP, but never mind. There's with the lasso to finish him off. 3 down for Arcanys. They got the kill on Ben's, but they lose potentially 2 cores, and they're going to lose an extra up in the top lane. Oh, Net, he gets a solo kill into Ramos.
The big question is, what is Net going to spend all this gold on? He's currently sitting on 3,600 gold on the Venomancer. I think it's just an Ags, but honestly, he could go for whatever he wants. He's been playing a pretty hands-off role from the rest of his team, but yeah, that trade is so worth it for GGuard across the map, trading 1 for 4. The Faceless Void, although he is a very important kill, it's not worth everything that Arcanys could throw at him. Mighty Savior does have the makings of an Eye of Scotty. Now he's going to drop his Orb of Venom onto the Courier. But still, he wasn't involved in that either. GGuard are able to capitalize on Arcanys probably going a little too aggressive, hoping to just get a kill and get out with that Aghanim Scepter on the Lina that was freshly picked up, but they're not able to do it. At this point, everybody on the side of GGuard is able to survive through the Lina ulti, with the exception being Venomancer, but now that he picks up his Ags bits, he'll be able to survive even.
Yeah, actually he has the completed Ags. He's just going to make his way to the secret shop to grab that. So, Net, he has that deadly Ags. Now, this is going to be a level 2 Poison Nova. I think it does somewhere around... Well, we got to do the maths once this actually pops up, but let's take a look at some of the HP pulls on these heroes on Arcanys. If they actually get caught by this, particularly the Lion as well as the Earthshaker, those two are definitely going to tick down to 1. If it gets hit by the Venomous Gale as well... Yeah, those 2 supports aren't going to hang around near Net for too much longer.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams have pulled back onto their sides of the map for the time being. Just looking to gain some control. Roshan probably going to be our next major objective. Both teams have good teamfight around the Roshan, but I'm tempted to say that GGuard have the better one, so Arcanys won't be comfortable unless they get a pick off first. Earthshaker holding on to the Blink Dagger, Jabriel Ramos might think of smoking up with like the Lina and Lion and looking for an aggressive move.
Yeah, they just need some more vision on the map though. Arcanys, they have a lot of defensive vision, but they don't have anything to really show them anything into GGuard's jungle, or maybe just even to the entrance of the jungle to see if any of the GGuard heroes are rotating. So they're pretty much playing blind in terms of figuring out where GGuard is. The only vision they have is, well, they have this one on the river up here and this one hitting the jungle, but it's not going to show them too much. It's in their own jungle. It's not in GGuard's. If they want to go for the aggressive player, if they want to go for a smoke into GGuard's jungle, they're going to be taking a very big risk. because GGuard's been sticking together, and GGuard's going to go for their own smoke. No one's down the bottom lane there, but never mind, we're going to have a TP, so Heinrich, if he gets caught here, this is going to be pretty much the end of him, and there's going to be no one that will be able to come in quick enough to really save him. So Winter's going to come forward with the blink as well as the last, and Yamate, he can just finish him up really quickly. There's the ult to buy him some time though. There's some reinforcement. Play hard is here. They're going to use the chrono. They're going to commit it to get the kill into Heinrich. BKB's been deployed though, but unfortunately Fissure not really going to be able to do anything. And Play hard, he's going to cop the whole Witch Doctor Death Ward damage, but actually the Witch Doctor wards are bouncing around. They will get the kill onto the Witch Doctor though. Whiskers finishes him off with the Finger of Death. So, well, support for a mid. GGuard's gonna be happy with what they got.
Yeah, in the end it works out for them. They really wanted to go for that because of the Aghanim Scepter on the Witch Doctor, and somehow GGuard have found so much farm on their supporting cast. The Lion for Arcanys would love to have a Blink Dagger, although the Earthshaker does have one. GGuard have been spreading out their map resources a lot thinner, and it seems to be working out well for them. The leaps in power for Aghanim Scepter on both Veno and Witch Doctor is really good, and that's one of the reasons why we see core Veno, but why lane him as a core when you can make so much space for him later on?
Yeah, Net's been pretty much playing this. I just want to say he's been playing it like Owie. Owie, he plays an incredibly greedy position 4, but it just feels like Net's been imitating it really. He's just playing this very, very greedy Venomancer who just sits on the other side of the map from his team, just keeps pushing, just keeps on grabbing farm himself, and, well, Arcanys, they haven't really been punishing Net for it, so he's been getting a significant amount of farm, and he is actually a pretty big threat, especially if a 5-on-5 engagement happens. So Arcanys, they're going to have to decide to either tank up. They can't really just focus down Net because he's just a support Veno. If he blows his ulti as well as the Gale, that's pretty much his job done. He doesn't need to really live. There is going to be an Aegis though secured by Arcanys, so they grab something nice for the sniper, but they're going to need a little bit more than this. They might need a couple of miracles to really happen and hopefully come back in the game. We've got 2 heroes in the jungle there on the side of on side of GGuard. They want to grab a kill. It's Winter and Yamate, the deadly duo, but everyone on Arcanys, they're going to stick around. The only one that's really going to be separated is our Lion. Will he get caught by Winter? He will be found out. He is going to be lassoed, and Yamate in the jungle. He's just going to blink forward, just going to go for the Sonic Wave, and that's pretty much the end of the Lion. He actually just picked up a Blink Dagger from the Courier, so unfortunately that mid push for Arcanys is going to be pretty much stopped. Mighty Savior will hang around though just to beat on the tower though.
Yeah, with the Batrider Lasso and the Sonic Wave committed, they might be able to get this tier 2. We'll just have to see how comfortable they are sticking around. Bristleback tanking the tower to his heart's content. They're going to jump into Chrono, going straight on to play hard. They get in front of him. Now the Death Ward is bouncing between him and Mighty Saber. Mighty Saber dropped down to about half. He's going to get mech'd up by the Bristleback as the Chronosphere dissipates. But with that, Arcanys should try falling back to the best of their ability. The Mask of Madness popped by Mighty Saber with the SNY. He's more than fast enough even with the Plague Ward slow applied. Everybody else is going to be home free. Unfortunate for Arcanys that they lose their Bristleback. Probably a little too greedy to stick around after losing their Lion on the backlines.
Yeah. We had Ramos actually try to throw a fissure to disconnect Ben from Play Hard, but unfortunately it kind of did the opposite, just connected those two really, and there was no escape for the Bristleback. It probably wouldn't have even been able to escape really, just because of the damage output that GGuard can really throw out. So, well, it's a dead Bristleback. He would have been dead anyway, but good try there from Ramos to try and save his teammate.
Yeah, for sure. Things are going to slow down a bit. Even though Arcanys do lose the fight, they still sit on the Aegis of the Sniper, so GGuard aren't going to be super interested in going for a 5-man push. Instead, Net's going to continue his split-pushing duties on the Venomancer, probably going to try to save up for a mobility item. Although Venomancer Ultimate's wonderful and all, it gets so much stronger when you have a Blink Dagger to actually position yourself inside the fight.
Yeah, that's the great thing with Veno, but like I mentioned before though, even if Net dies, as long as he just throws the ultimate onto somebody on Arcanys, they are going to have to play so carefully, and there's not many heroes on Arcanys that can survive the damage output. So Blink, it will be a very nice luxury for Net. He is being pretty much unpunished at this point though in the top lane. No one's going to be defending the top lane. Everyone on Arcanys is on the aggressive. They want to push down this middle T2 tower, but well, there might be a bit of a flank coming out from GGuard. Ben's around the trees, but unfortunately Chrono is still on cooldown for a couple more seconds, so that's going to be a tower down for GGuard. but they want to try and defend their T3 tower, the more important tower. Mighty Savior is still there. He's got the Aegis though, so even if he dies, he's got a secondary chance, but we'll see how the fight goes. Who's going to be the one to initiate? Cask is thrown out just to get rid of the creep wave, and Arcanys, they're going to have to back up and wait for that secondary creep wave.
Queen of Pain deep behind enemy lines is going to cut the creeps and then TP away to safety. Unfortunately, the Lina just a little too far away for Arcanys. In the end, it's just a tier 2 tower, and that's all that they can get. They'll be happy because of it, but in the end, that's about all she wrote. They still have about a minute and a half left on the Aegis, a little bit more than that actually, so maybe they can get another tier 2 up top, but that seems unlikely to. Looks like this is just going to be used to farm for the next couple of minutes. As Arcanys can't get any further objectives, trying to hunt out for the Venomancer to get vision with the Shrapnel. Now Yules him up to cancel out of his TP. He gets off the ultimate on the Heinrich, but he's going to get shot down just the same. The Venomancer ultimate is going to be annoying for Lina, but I don't think she cares much.
Yeah, she just TPs out and she's pretty much good to go. Unfortunate there for Net here. He gets caught out, but it doesn't matter. He's got pretty much the farm that he really wanted. He's buying space for his team, so that's where Ben, that's where Yamate, that's where Winter just keeps on grabbing more and more farm and just continuously snowballs, because this Veno, he's been doing these cute little cheeky plays, and if his team is keeping Arcanys busy, then Net's pushing down towers. If Net's keeping Arcanys busy, then that means that GGuard is getting a little bit of free space for their core. So I feel like they're creating space for each other with some very cute plays. They're not being incredibly punished for it, which is something that Arcanys, they're going to have to do eventually, or they're just going to have to try and snowball to the point of no return, which it looks pretty even though, but Mighty Savior, he is sporting some very, very beautiful items. What's Yamate going to go for next though? He's got a BKB. This is a 10-second BKB as well. So it's going to help in those fights. It will pretty much cancel out all of the disables on the side of Arcanys. Nothing will really pierce that BKB. So we'll see how it goes though. We can't really say too much. They want to defend this top T2 tower. Everyone on Arcanys, they have backed up. They have a smoke nearby though. I just saw a TP out. Oh no, that was just Mighty Savior going to the bottom lane.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the Aegis anymore, just expired, so he's not going to feel comfortable sticking around for that tier 2 tower push. GGuard were putting a lot of pressure on the other lanes, so for the time being, the only thing that Aegis got Arcanys was a tier 2 tower in mid, and even then they didn't get it for free. They end up losing the first fight around, so GGuard now it's in their turf to look to take some map objectives. Maybe this Lina is going to be in a lot of trouble, or maybe it's the Venomancer with the ultimate. He's going to die first, TPing away, or rather blinking away. Heinrich is going to survive for a little bit more with the Faceless Void getting 4 staff forward. Heinrich still trying to run. 477 movement speed with 3 stacks of that Fiery Soul, and she'll be just fine after getting a really clean kill set up for by an Invis rune.
That was a very quick getaway from Heinrich. He was moving so quickly. He was outspeeding a 4-staffed Mask of Madness time-walked Faceless Void. That's absurd. I thought I just mentioned that, but anyways. So no counter kills on the Lina. Down bottom though, we've got 3 heroes as well as a couple more that are going to come in. So Arcanys, they're going to go for a 5-on-5 bottom push here. Ben, he's going to be hiding behind the tree line. His teammates are coming in as well. Yamate coming in from the north. We've got Winter coming in from the west. Now, who are they going to jump on? GrandisV are going to connect onto 2 Mighty Savior as well as Whiskers. They will get the line. They will get the sniper as well. So 2 are down. They're going to manage to get a 4-staff as well as the lasso onto the Earthshaker. They can get play hard here. It's very slow. Can't really get out of there, but Heinrich's going to go for the stun. Can they cancel the TP? They will be able to cancel it with the cast. So that's going to be the Bristleback down. A nice quick TP there for Heinrich, but that aggressive push that was supposed to grab a tower for Arcanys, they lose 4 and they get nothing.
The Witch Doctor got a full channel death ward in that fight. It does a ridiculous amount of damage. What? Okay, so we'll talk about that item pick up next. But yeah, Ling really saving that fight for the team. It's a Skull Basher for Sniper. It's an item that I'd love to see more ranged heroes pick up. With his attack speed, he can be so annoying, and I can imagine it really ticking off GGuard if they get a bash at a crucial time. The damage is kind of nice. I was expecting something more along the lines of a Daedalus, however. Just more reliable. MKB if he's really worried about them TPing away from it.
Yeah, I feel like MKB would have been the pickup aside from a Skull Basher, but interesting decision. Maybe it's just the budget. The budget MKB, maybe it's a little bit cheaper, so maybe he wanted it a little bit quicker, but well, we've got a Skull Basher. Will he put this into a Abyssal Blade, Grandis? This is fast. Yeah, I don't think so.
So
Not when you're
Abyssal Blade
Sniper.
on ranged heroes is really good when you have like a Weaver, or somebody that can maneuver through the fights, or somebody who's going to get a blink. Mighty Savior, if he's going to get value out of an Abyssal Blade, relies entirely on getting jumped first, and that's never something you want to have happen, especially when you're getting jumped by like a Monkey King Bar Faceless Void, who's now doing a whole lot of damage to add to GGuard's already ridiculous damage pool, with the Sonic Wave coming out for the Queen of Pain, and with the Witch Doctor's Death Ward, the Venomancer's Ultimate. Even though Arcanys have a super farmed Sniper and a really farmed Lina, it doesn't seem like they have the supporting cast to really back that up. The blink on the Earthshaker and Lion is nice and all, but it's 35 minutes in, they'd really like to have something more.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, we've got a nice little smoke picked up on net though. So is he going to use it for his team? He's actually going to go towards the bottom lane. We've still got two heroes nearby, Ling and Ben, the dangerous duo. Looks like Ben's going to go for Cronus. Fair's only going to connect onto two though. It's going to be play hard as well as Ramos. There's going to be the Death Ward on the high ground as well. There was going to be the Laguna Blade pop, but actually that's not Laguna Blade. That was a Finger of Death. They do kill off Ben though with the Lina. So 2 for 2, sorry, 1 for 2, a carry for 2 supports. Probably not something that GGuard really wants, but there is going to be a secondary prize here for GGuard. Can Arcanys get him out? There's going to be quick TP. There's going to be a cancel coming out from GGuard. So 3 down instead of the 2 for Arcanys. So GGuard, they lose their carry. They only got 2 supports initially, but they got that bonus in the Sniper. So they're going to be incredibly happy with that pickup. And it looks like they're going to be on the aggressive now. They want to go for that mid tower. They do have vision of Heinrich though, but Lasso is on cooldown, so no way to really catch that really quick and sneaky Lina.
Or is there? Blink forward, Paralyzing Cask is going to get fogged out. She's just a little too fast for Ling to catch her out. But the Witch Doctor's really been GGuard's savior in the last couple of fights. TP into the tower, Light Strike Array is going to be followed up, but not so, as Yamate is able to pop up the BKB and blink out to safety. Although that's going to be a pretty long BKB charge, 9 seconds down the tubes. Still worth it since they're able to get the disengage. In the end, it's the carry of Arcanys plus 2 supports, favoring GGuard by every metric, and all the while, you have Ned pushing down bottom on the Venomancer like he's been doing all game. Now sitting on that blink, Quelling Blade, he can play some really cheeky tree Dota.
He could potentially go for a refresher orb of this game if he really wants to bump up the damage with that Poison Nova, but we'll see if he wants to go in that direction. He's still hanging onto the smoke. I'm not sure if he's going to use it for himself later on or if he is going to use it for his team, but he bought a Quelling Blade. This is super cute coming out from there. He's just cutting through the trees, just making his own little path so that Arcanys cannot really determine where the Venomancer is actually going to be. So I don't really want to call this next level plays. It's very cute. Very cute and all, but I feel like it's just very net-esque. You don't see many players do this. Very rarely will I see a support player. Yes, he plays similar to Owie, where he actually manages to get a lot of farm and potentially split pushes to do so, but Owie doesn't cut through trees. Owie doesn't buy Blink Dagger. Owie doesn't do this. It's like Net's own style, really. This is why I love watching Net playing these heroes. His Sand King is so good. Man, I've got to stop fangirling.
It's completely fine. I can fanboy over him too if you want. I don't know. It's very impressive. Either way, I think Shiva's or Scythe would be a wonderful next item for him, but for the time being, we can take our eyes off of the Venomancer and look towards the other lanes. Big group up, but instead it's going to be initiation up towards top, trying to burst down Heinrich with the Sonic Wave, with the Flame Break. It's just not enough. She'll be able to Yules, and now the turnaround is there, or at least attempted. BKB by Yamate trying to get the tower. It's going to be fortified at literally 1 HP and denied by the Bristleback. GGuard don't get anything, and it costs them an 8-second BKB charge, and they even get the tower denial, Arcanys, so that looks pretty good for them. Let's see if they're going to be able to get anything off of the snapback. The answer is probably no. GGuard's tower defense is ridiculous, and the Roshan's also pretty darn good. Ben and Ling are currently going to town on the old man, and it looks like they're going to get an Aegis for their void.
Oh, poor Fia. I'm kidding. But Arcanys, it's so hard for them this game because all their lanes are constantly pushed. So Aegis going to be acquired onto Ben, so even though he's going to die the first time, he is going to have that secondary life. But GGuard, they've been playing this so well, they keep all the lanes pushed so that even though Arcanys potentially wins a bit of a team fight, they can't really push down a particular lane very quickly mid. It's literally at the mid equilibrium. Down bottom, you've got Net, who's constantly pushing. Up top, though, we've got Yamate, who's going to try and go for a push, but he will manage to blink out. Has barely survived on 170 HP, and unfortunately, no one on Arcanys can really catch up to him at that point, but he was up top trying to go for his own push. Yamate, he is still hanging around with Ling to heal himself up. Bottom tower, though, has been secured by GGuard, and Arcanys, they can't really do anything because their attentions were pretty much split.
It cost them the Aegis on Ben, but still worth it since they are able to take that tier 2 tower down. But even so, the game's still looking pretty even. GGuard are sitting on about a 10,000 advantage when it comes to net worth, and a lot of advantage when it comes to experience. But they're not able to transition this into any high ground push, and that's really the question. At what point do GGuard or Arcanys actually commit for the tier 3s? I think it has to wait until we get another Aegis, and that's so long away.
Yeah, I guess that's a disadvantage though. If you give up an Aegis for a tower, it's very costly. It wastes, I don't really want to say waste your time, but it costs a lot of time to get the Aegis if you manage to secure it. It's such a valuable item. You would love to use it for those high ground T3 pushes, but I feel like at this point, GGuard, they still don't feel comfortable going up onto the high ground. No team really feels comfortable going on the high ground. It's very hard to push up there unless you have some of those really good, pretty much really good initiating heroes to go into the enemy base. So things like your Tide Hunter, maybe even a Centaur War Runner. They do have a Bat Rider though, so if Arcanys is not careful when GGuard goes for this high ground push, they could get lassoed, and they are going to try and jump onto Mighty Savior, and Ben, he's going to be there as well. GrandisV is going to be deployed as well, and that's going to be a quick and easy kill onto the sniper. No one's going to be there to reinforce. Play hard on the Bristleback. What can he really do? No Force Staff, no Yules, no Hex. He's just got a Halberd, and that's not going to help when you're going to be pretty much ruffle stomped by 3 heroes.
Yeah, take no chances with the sniper. GGuard are going to kill him off and transition this into a tier 2 tower push in mid, potentially. They don't have another lasso for 30 seconds, so their initiation is significantly weaker. Maybe they can still make it happen, however. They have a Scythe up on Yamate. They'll keep the pressure up as Venomancer's over in the sidelines. They catch out the Lina with the Sonic Wave and the Maledict. They're going to be able to bring her down quickly. And now look for potentially a little bit more. Mighty Saber's going to TP in after buying back on the sniper, trying to turn things around into Ben, trying to TP out. Skull Basher, they don't even need it. The damage is there. Mighty Savior looking for more. Is going to drop some shrapnels up into the high ground, but doesn't catch anything out. Ned over in the sidelines gets Yulesed up by Heinrich, going to Laguna Blade into the face and blow him sky high. Double kill for Mighty Savior. Although it's a costly fight for Arcanys, they still come out on top.
It was very costly. They do come up top, but there's buybacks on these heroes, never mind. Faceless Void, he gets a little greedy. He's going to buy a point booster, but, well, there's buyback on net. So even though there could be this mid push coming out from Arcanys, they're always going to have net available. And the death timers, it's 42 minutes into the game, and we aren't really sitting at those really, really high death timers. It's not 2 minutes, it's not even a minute yet. It's roughly about 40 to 50 minute death timers. So it's plenty of time, really, for Arcanys to make a push down the middle lane, but it's not enough to really give them that safety to go up onto the high ground. It's very risky. But, well, Net actually buys something. He buys a ultimate orb.
Pretty interesting up for the Venomancer. I think this is just going to be a Scythe device, however. Although the dream is always real for Scotty Venomancer, it's not going to happen ever. Tier 2 tower up towards top, going to be taken out by Arcanys pretty easily too. As long as the glyph expires in time, the Batter is going to look for initiation, catches out Play Hard, but a Blink Hex, Finger of Death onto Winter. Winter's going to be turned around on very easily. TP's in very quickly. They're going to drop their bottle on the ground as Play Hard's now caught out. Play Hard is currently fighting up against way too many heroes and is going to get caught. He tries to catch his bottle before dropping the gem, but ends up losing both. Bottle on the Faceless Void.
Oh man, that's very unfortunate there for Playhard. His team literally just dispersed and said, "Okay, you can have Sonic the Hedgehog. We don't really want him. He's not very helpful to us." So they give up their Bristleback as well as the gem. So a little bit unfortunate there. They don't even grab the T2 tower though. T2 tower still standing at about 300 HP, but that's going to be a nice, quick and easy grab if Arcanys wants to go for a hit and run kind of tactic there and just take it down very quickly. Roche, yeah, Roche is going to be another 3 minutes, so no Roshan yet. We did see the Aegis lost very, very soon when it was acquired on the side of GGuard, so oh yeah, we got 5 more minutes till we get the certain timer coming out from our Roche.
Yeah, that's
a little bit of passivity. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is that the actual next Roshan?
That is the actual next Roshan.
Oh,
so it's going to be a really long timer.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate there. If it was a very early Roche, then the GGuard would have been able to pick it up for themselves, or maybe even Arcanys would have been able to snipe it, because both sides have a lot of damage. They've got Arcanys has Mighty Savior, who's lots of slots. I don't really want to say how many slots he is, because he might actually swap out this Skull Basher, which we mentioned before. It was very quirky. Do you actually think the Skull Basher is actually making a difference in these fights?
I have not seen a single bash actually mean anything
No.
inside the engagements, and I mean the damage is pretty nice, but he could have gotten a Demon Edge, and it would have done the same thing.
I feel like this Demon Edge, I hope it turns into an MKB and swaps out that Skull Basher, because, yeah, we haven't seen any bashes from this Skull Basher, which is interesting, and we've been watching the game as well. We've been watching our sniper, but no bashes. Like, even when they TP out, he pretty much kills them before the bash even comes out, which is a little bit entertaining, but we might see a push coming out from GGuard in that top lane. Let's see if it comes out successfully.
I mean, I hate to bash quirky items, but we'll just have to see. Oh, Vision over on the net with the... Oh my goodness, poor Venomancer. He is going to get fissured up over in the sidelines, but they're going to jump Mighty Saber. They're going to Maledict him, and Witch Doctor Deathward. It's going to start bouncing to play hard, and the Witch Doctor is able to continue this with the BKB. There's nothing they can do. They'll Yule's up the Queen of Pain, trying to drop her down. She has no BKB, is going to get Laguna Blade to the back, and Finger of Death to the face. I don't know, zaps from both sides, and Arcanys are going to end up trading 1-for-1. Although they lose their sniper, they get GGuard's highest net worth hero in the Queen of Pain.
Well, how did Lina actually deny sniper? Is it from the... Is it because of the Veno? I forgot there's a couple...
It was the Queen of Pain Shadow Strike. Honestly, I'm not sure that Shadow Strike was worth it, but I don't think a Gale landed.
Oh, they did Shadow Strike twice, and I forgot you can actually, I think you can deny Gale. I think they will get Benz in the middle lane though, so nice pick up there for Arcanys. 2 cores down for GGuard. No buyback on Benz, but they are going to sit on the high ground. So they really want to try and go for a fight though. There's an ultimate available on net. Winter's nearby with the lasso ready, and Ling, he's got that godforsaken Death Ward online very soon, but it looks like there's going to be no fight for the moment. And Arcanys, they're going to check for Roche, but unfortunately no respawn as of yet. They will TP up top though. They have vision of the heroes, and there was going to be the lasso onto Whiskers, our poor Lion on the high ground. He is going to be sitting in the Firefly. Actually, he's going to be pushed down. He will survive. Bit of a misplay there from Winter, hoping that he could have picked off that Lion, but, well, that's going to be very happy Whiskers.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he dies!
Venomancer, tick damage. It's actually really easy to underestimate how much that Poison Sting does, but... in the end, that's going to secure that kill. If that Flame Break was just a little bit further to the south, it would have bounced him down into the Firefly there, but they get the kill just the same, and there's no way that you can deny the, excuse me, Poison Sting damage. You will scepter over onto the Venomancer, into the Light Strike Array. Dragon Slave, ultimate, and net is not more than a crater. As Fisher comes in to take that kill, not sure Earthshaker was necessary there, and maybe he's going to lose his life because of it. BKB popped as Witch Doctor is going to look at it go. Jabriel Ramos is going to die to the Maledict ticked as Ling TPs out in style.
Well, that was pretty much salt to the wound there for our poor Earthshaker, getting soloed by the GGuard support, but I guess it's the hard life of a support. There's always going to be that one support that's better than you. It's okay, Ramos, you are absolutely fine. You're an Earthshaker. You will have your 5-man slam dunks one day. But again, a little bit of passivity coming out from both sides. They're going to keep on grabbing their farm, and we finally get that MKB picked up on Mighty Savior.
He is doing a lot of damage, and we'll just have to see. The double bash is also pretty legit. It's so annoying. You're going to get headshot, you're going to get the mini bash from MKB, and then you're going to get bashed by the Skull Bashers. So we'll just have to see if it comes to fruition, this build. At the very least, he's doing a lot of damage, but he has Forsaken buyback for probably the next 3 minutes or so. I
feel like this Skull Basher has not bashed at all for Mighty Savior. Maybe I just need to watch him a little bit longer, because I haven't seen any bashes coming out from the sniper. Maybe I'm just blind.
I've seen a couple on creeps, but never in a fight.
You've seen a couple on creeps. Yeah, I've never seen any of these bashes in the fights. They never come, you could say, at those right moments, really. We haven't seen any of those crucial bashes when necessary. It's just been the hit and hope it bash and never happens kind of bash. So we'll see if it actually happens eventually. Smoke coming out from Arcanys. We've got a 5-man smoke rotation into the middle lane. And GGuard, they've only got 3 heroes here. Winter's going to be the only one nearby. Never mind. Everyone on GGuard, they're going to back out. I don't really think they know that this smoke is happening, but everyone on the side of Arcanys, they disappeared on the map. So GGuard, they're just going to play defensive, and they are going to sit in their base. So they will live for the next 2 minutes.
If you take a look at GGuard's vision at the moment, they have a lot of very deep wards, and I think this one might have spotted out the smoke. And even if it didn't, if nobody is inside the ward vision coming out from Arcanys, it's very, very sketchy. Roshan's going to respawn very shortly. Arcanys really wanted to pick off before this, but now they're going to be fighting into the full 5-man lineup of GGuard when the time comes. And that's a scary prospect indeed when you're thinking of a Chronosphere, Venomous ultimate coming out from the Venomancer and the Witch Doctor Deathward all inside the Roche Pit. In fact, the entire GGuard lineup seems kind of custom fitted to take fights in this area, and they're going to go hard on to play hard. They'll jump in. They don't need to commit a Chronosphere for this one. They're going Halberd up the Void, but that's not going to save you when the Maledict is ticking through all of this damage. Jump in for the Echo Slam. Ben is going to be stunned out by this, but now that the Deathward is channeling, there's just nobody that can survive. Heinrich is going to end up getting the Laguna Blade onto Ben. It's not backtrack there, as Ling is going to have his BKB and Deathward expire. It's a 1-for-3 trade at the moment. GGuard, however, are now fighting up against the Sniper, and that's not something that they should be comfortable about, but, well, just looky there, Net's split pushing top.
Of course. Well, that's pretty much going to be the obvious thing that's going to happen for GGuard. Net's been split pushing constantly, so he's going to be pretty much the nature's prophet this game. He's just been pushing all over the place, so Net's just going to be super annoying, and this might be the space that GGuard needs to actually go for Roche, because Ben, he's going to be down for another 50 seconds, but all they have to do is they just have to buy their time till Ben comes up, grab that Roche, put it on their faceless, and hopefully go for the high ground push. And I feel like this is close to the right time for GGuard. They've almost got all the items that they really need. They've got pretty much everything on their bat. Yamate, he could probably grab another item if he really wants to, or just finish maxing out the Dagon, although they're going to try and go for another kill. This is going to be on Heinrich this time, the Lina. He's completely isolated, no teammates nearby, and that's a 120-second death timer. Buyback is available, though, if he has to go for it.
Yeah, and I don't think this is going to transition into a high ground push, or even open up a Roshan at the moment. GGuard aren't in the greatest of positions to take it since their Faceless Void isn't there. Their actual damage into the Roche is pretty limited, even though their fighting potential around it is amazing. They're going to ping out the Sniper up towards top, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything off of it. Even so, GGuard are controlling the map a little bit better than Arcanys. They'll be able to keep up the pressure, and currently GGuard are bottled up. Oh my goodness, that line was completely skewed, but either way, they're bottled up behind that line.
It's okay, your lines aren't too skewed. So this is going to be the Roche attempt coming out from GGuard, and Arcanys, do they really want to contest it? I don't even think they know this is happening. They're just kind of hanging around the mid lane, expecting GGuard to go for a gank, but nope. It's going to be nice and easy Roshan for GGuard. I think they want to try and go for a kill onto Net, who is still by himself. Blink Dagger's on cooldown, but Arcanys probably doesn't even know this, but well, they're just kind of hanging around their base. They're worried about a smoke gank, but they are going to get a bit of a shock when they notice that Roshan has gone down. And again, Aegis is going to go onto Ben, our Faceless Void.
And since it is the third Roshan of the game, Yamate now has a cheese on the Queen of Pain, and also a completed Dagon 5. The burst damage the Queen of Pain can pump out is ridiculous, and although the sustained damage is nicer in the Bristleback and the Sniper, I'm not sure Mighty Savior and the Bristler are going to be able to survive, since Arcanys just don't have the greatest of ways to start these fights. The Blink Scythe from the Queen of Pain, the Time Walking Chrono rather, and the Blink and Batrider is really going to trump everything. Now we also have the Blink Scythe for Veno. If they take a full 5-on-5 engagement, Arcanys are going to be hard-pressed to defend, and I don't think Tier 2 is the place to do it. They're going to have to wait for high ground.
Yeah, they really have to be careful, because Winters here is going to go blink forward into our Lasso. They're going to go right on Mighty Savior. They're going to commit pretty much only the Death Ward as well as the Lasso. So Ben, Chronosphere is still up. He already popped the Mask of Madness. His BKB was already used as well. Tower's going to go down. Buyback is available on the Sniper if necessary. I think they're just going to have to use this buyback on Mighty Savior. They just cannot fight without their Sniper. He's pretty much one of their primary damage sources. And look at Ben, he's copying quite a bit of damage from the Laguna Blade. The cooldown on it is relatively short, so Heinrich, he can spam that out if he really wants to. There is going to be a stun connecting pretty much only onto one here, as well as a really nice blink from the Lina, hoping to not get caught. Yamate, though, he's ready with the Scythe device as well as the Cheese Ben, though. Chronosphere going to connect onto 2 play hard as well as Heinrich. There is going to be a Echo Slam that connects onto nobody on the side of Ramos. Not sure what happened there, but they are probably going to grab the kill onto the Bristleback. They do have to buy back on the Sniper, and Ben, he's just going to be limping right next to Lin. Wow, that was very close.
Yeah, for some reason the Radiant Courier was there, so the Sniper picks that off. But yeah, those venomous Plague Wards are really so annoying when you have a Blink Initiator like Earthshaker. He got his Blink cancelled at the last second, and at that point, there's really not much that you can do. He could have Force Staffed into the Echo Slam maybe, but in the end it just doesn't work out. GGuard are currently taking a 5v4 engagement, and they still have the Aegis on Void. Why not commit to the high ground at this moment? If they kill off the Sniper, it could all be over, and let's see if Winter can snag him. He's going to be BKB, pull back Heinrich. That's the second best thing to the Sniper. They'll be able to focus down the Lina quickly. Buyback from the Bristle, buyback from the Lina. They're all trying to get into this fight, but now the Death Ward and the Paralyzing Cast bouncing through to play hard. The Laguna Blade's going to commit to the back lines, and, well, they will lose their Venomancer. That's about it. Link's going to be tagged by an Assassinate. Everybody on Arcanys is so low. Lucky enough for Lion, the ultimate coming out from Veno is not ultimate, and also for Mighty Savior. If there was just a little bit more Zeus ulti now, GGuard would have won that fight in a convincing fashion.
Don't jinx it, you might actually summon a Zeus ult. Bring back the Year Beast. No, we don't want the Year Beast anymore, but that was very close for Arcanys, but that was so costly in just defending their mid T3 tower. And how many heroes don't have buybacks now? They don't have buyback on their Lina, none on the Sniper, and now none on the Bristleback. And do their supports actually have buyback? They've got only one on their Earthshaker, so unfortunately the Lion, he can't really quite afford it as of yet. He's just a little bit too poor. 900 gold off, actually. And the Aegis is going to be reclaimed in 2 minutes. So if GGuard wants to be aggressive, they're going to have to go for it now. But I think at this point, they're just going to let the Aegis expire. They'll just keep farming and wait for that next Aegis. They still have the cheese. No, cheese has been consumed by Yamate, so they're going to have no cheese or pretty much extra cheese to really work with if they want to put that onto somebody. Arcanys wants to be aggressive, though. They've got a smoke in the enemy jungle, but GGuard, they're just hanging around the mid lane together. They know that something's up. They know the Arcanys wants to try and go for a smoke, so they're just going to hang around and wait for that to expire. And just to grab some vision, they will see play hearts. They're going to say, okay, we averted the smoke gank. I think it's safe now, and they're just going to leave their base and continue on farming for whatever else they want to go for. Yamate, I think, is going to go for an E-Blade, which is going to be a very painful pickup, especially on anyone that gets focused down on Arcanys.
Yeah, the magic damage from GGuard is pretty insane from just the Queen of Pain. Then you have the Venomancer kit that's also going to be completely amplified. There's a Scythe now on this Witch Doctor. These are some of the most farm supports you're ever going to see. The support Witch Doctor, or support in quotes, is at the same level of farm as the mid on the enemy side, which is ridiculous. And Link's doing a lot more with this farm too. He's 19-2 and 8. The Witch Doctor's really been amazing for GGuard. He's been the one who's won the majority of the fights for them.
Yeah, well, what can Arcanys really do to cancel out the Death Ward once the BKB's popped? They don't have anything. Oh, the Skull Basher. Or the potential Abyssal Blade that might come out from Mighty State. Oh, no, doesn't MKB bash?
No, it's a magical bash, no? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's a magical bash. Okay, no worries then. Well, it's a little unfortunate, but again, we're going to have another high ground push coming out from GGuard. This is going to be a little bit scary. Aegis is still around, but it will expire very soon. So let's hope that Benz does not get caught out once that actually expires. So he's going to be alone in the middle lane, just pushing down that T3 tower. Here at BKB, that's actually going to be Winter's going to go for a lasso onto the Lion, although he's taking a lot of damage by Mighty Savior. He will go down. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, though, we are going to have a lone Chronosphere onto Playhard. But look at Ben, he's taking so much damage. And the Echo Slam is going to be committed, not really going to connect onto anybody because Ling had his BKB up. So 2 heroes down for GGuard, only 1 down for Arcanys. And Yamate going to go for a turn. He wants to fight, but he can't really do anything once his BKBs are up. And it looks like Arcanys, they're going to go make a beeline down that middle lane just because they won that fight. They do not know that buybacks are available on these heroes, though.
Basis Void, if he buybacks now, won't have the Chronosphere, but since he does have an Aghanim Scepter, it's going to be up shortly. And I don't think Arcanys can actually get a push off of this, but that initiation was so split up by GGuard. Winter had to dive like down into tier 4s to snag that line, and the follow-up damage just wasn't there. And in the meantime, Sniper is just happily shooting away at the Bat Rider. Then Faceless Void jumps in, but he doesn't catch everything in the Chronosphere, and the follow-up from the Death Ward isn't immediately there. GGuard needed to find something a little bit more focused. They end up spreading their forces, and they'll get punished because of it. It's something that Sniper is very good at doing. Yeah,
that fight though, I really noticed Ling, his Death Ward damage is starting to fall off. And this is something that it's going to happen eventually because this is all physical damage. And no one on the side of GGuard really has any sort of negative armor. We're not going to see a Deso. We're not going to really see an Assault Cuirass anytime soon. Where those items would really help bump up or keep that Witch Doctor's damage relevant. But because those items are not going to be picked up, Ling's damage is going to start falling off, especially when armor, especially when HP is going to be built on these heroes on the side of Arcanys. And they are getting very big.
For sure, the Ethereal Blade from Yamate is going to help, but I think more than anything this comes down to initiation. If GGuard got a clean pickoff with the Bat Rider lasso, and probably not on the Lion, honestly he's probably one of the least important heroes on the Arcanist side. No offense to the Lion, but it's just that point in the game. Things would have looked a lot better for them. They are going to find a Witch Doctor pick. This is actually huge. Earthshaker ends the Beyond Godlike spree. Ling was really far out in front. He was doing some warding, which is nice and all, but when you have such a spree, you rely very heavily on getting the BKB blink and TP out, but it wasn't available.
Yeah, that's actually a nice bounty of gold going in the way of the Earthshaker. So if he wants to grab anything right now, he could definitely do so. He's almost got 3k gold in total after grabbing that kill. He only got 1k though, so he was hanging on to 2k after that. But these supports are... they're starting to get items, and this is something that we don't typically see in some of the really high-end Dota. Sometimes we are going to see supports really starved in terms of money because teams, they love to put farm on those cores. They really want to 6-slot them. You just really want to put everything onto them because they do so well with farm. Supports, you can kind of leave them till last. But this game, I feel like the farm has just been distributed everywhere. It has not just been on particular heroes depending on their roles, and we are starting to hit the super late game. We are literally an hour into the game. There is going to be a jump in by Winter, but he did not get the lasso, and he might get picked up by Mighty Savior. That's going to be the bat down. No buyback on Winter as well. This might be disastrous for GGuard. This might be the chance for Arcanys to go for high ground push if they really want to. There is no Aegis though, so it will be very risky. If they get caught out, this might be the end of their run.
That was the basher. Completely
that was the basher.
Stopping the Batrider from initiating with that BKB. He just got completely cockblocked by it. Okay, so Mighty Savior is not going to have to fight through this wall of Plague Words, but at this moment, GGuard are going to have a lot harder time defending without having their Batrider initiation. Let's see if they can pull this off. They have a Chronosphere over in the sidelines. They have the Witch Doctor Death Ward, and their fight's still huge. They're going to go for the Chrono, catching out Mighty Savior. Heinrich is going to be scythed up by the Venomancers to go on the sidelines, daggening down the Sniper. He has buyback, but can't get into this fight again. They'll lose net over in the sidelines, and now we're going to Laguna Blade up. Ben, right-clicking him down. He's going to get 2 backtracks in a row, and then Time Walk out to safety. Everybody's dropping lows. There's an Echo Slam. Where did that happen? It's over in the sidelines as a last-ditch effort as he gets killed off by Yamate. Blink away by the Queen of Pain. Everybody else trying to make their way out to safety. Heinrich dropping low to the Poison Sting damage is going to survive on 150 HP. But in the end, GGuard, they find a good chrono, and the follow-up is there. Even though they lose their bat, they still hold.
That was a really good play coming out from GGuard. They just focus everything onto the sniper. Because the thing is, if you just leave the sniper there to do the damage, you have to dive into the backlines to get him. Whereas in the middle lane, he was exposed. Ben just went for that solo Chronosphere. And what can Arcanys really do? There was a really nice Hex as well, thrown out onto the Lina so that the Yule Scepter wasn't there or the Hex wasn't there to really do anything to the Faceless Void. So really nice coordinated play coming out from GGuard. Arcanys a little bit caught off guard, but that's to be expected. You're pushing up high ground, you don't have vision up there, so you don't really know where everyone is on the side of GGuard. So good plays coming up from both sides, but GGuard's going to be ahead in terms of that department, and they are going to secure the Roche for themselves as well. Very big pickup, Aegis and Cheese, as this is the 4th Roche.
Yeah, and this is going to be really nice for them. Faceless Void's almost at the gold for a refresher and a buyback to have on his person. They'll drop the cheese onto Ling, and now are ready to look for a high ground push of their own, but this is a lot safer since they do have the double life. As long as they can get a good chrono, and by good chrono I mean it catches Sniper, that's pretty much all that matters, and or a good lasso catches out the Sniper. Things should look pretty nice for GGuard in this fight. Let's see how Arcanys are going to react. A lot of the pressure is on these supports on the backlines to be able to blink in and disrupt that initiation, especially the Lina, but GGuard, they just have so many sites. If we count them, that's 3 on their team, and honestly I wouldn't be surprised to see Winter get one after he finishes the refresher.
Yeah, I feel like Winter will be able to grab one as well. And also, because he's grabbing the refresher orb as well, he's going to have the double scythe once he actually picks that up. So he's going to go for a play. He wants to go in the top lane. That's going to be Heinrich. And actually, Whiskers, he tried to go for a blink to stun them up, but unfortunately, the nice pull coming out from Winter's able to really pull Heinrich out of position. And unfortunately, they're going to lose the line as well. So that's going to be 2 down. No buyback on the line. But there is buyback on Heinrich though, so if there is going to be a push coming out from GGuard, this might be the chance of them too, because they have the Aegis and the Cheese. The Hasted Ling is just there to really harass that play hard. He can't really do anything. Everyone's just going to go make a beeline down that middle lane and up to the T3 tower. It's very, very low, so GGuard, they don't really have to commit too much to grab this T3 tower if they want to, but pushing onto the racks is going to be a bit of a different story. They're going to go right onto play hard. This is going to be the Chronosphere committed. Ling not really doing too much damage because this is a bristle back with his back turned. Laguna thrown it onto Ling, so that's going to be the Witch Doctor down. Ben, he's going to lose his life, so Aegis has been committed. Oh, what was the bristleback doing? He was trying to go for something, but he just gets completely bursted down. So unfortunately, that's going to be our bristleback down and out. He does have buyback though, but a little unfortunate for GGuard. They have to commit the Aegis. They didn't even get the T3 tower. They they dived for kills instead of prioritizing the push. I feel like it was a bit greedy.
A little bit, but it does force out the buyback coming out from the Lina, and even though the Bristleback didn't take much damage from the Death Ward itself, Maledict was the big hitter there from the Witch Doctor. The Bristleback, he has no PKB, and there's not really anything you can do about that, especially, like, if you Maledict and Ethblade Dagon somebody, that's almost, like, just a one-shot kill. It's absurd. Either way, Arcanys, repel them, but probably not for long. We really are taking this one to the late game. There's your Refresher Ward from the Faceless Void now. With a double BKB, double Chrono, fights are going to get easier for him, but Arcanys might just be able to hold indefinitely. Sniper is so good in these situations when you can just sit back behind your melee barracks next to the tier 4s and just fire away when GGuard are the ones that have to make the fight happen. It's a full Ethblade up for the Earthshaker. If it wasn't apparent that we are in late game already, this is not a pickup you see early anytime soon. The defensive capabilities of it are really nice against the Faceless Void's Chrono, and aggressively, maybe it can amplify like a Finger of Death. That's always a fun combo.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to start working in coordination with Heinrich to really get those E-Blade Laguna Blades or E-Blade Finger of Deaths in those fights, because they really can burst down somebody with it. Winter, even though you got two, let's look at GGuard heroes. They've got a lot of heroes this game who are running on about 2k HP, but when you're going to be going for a Laguna Blade plus an E-Blade, I can't even imagine how much damage is going to be coming out. You're probably going to be hit by 1.5 to potentially 2k, depending on whether you get 1 or 2 of those high DPS spells through. So I could definitely see somebody on GGuard just being burst to bits. We might just see a Venomancer just turned into a banana. We could see Ling just turning into a little pile of purple goo on the ground. Like, we could definitely see GGuard being punished. They do not know this this E-Blade is on the Earthshaker though, so this could be the trump card that Arcanys needs to bring one of those really big powerhouses down on the side of GGuard.
For sure. It's not going to amplify the Laguna Blade damage directly, but it's still going to be a lot of burst that Arcanys can bring to bear in these fights. GGuard are still the ones keeping up the pressure, but this time it's without the Faceless Void. They're not actually looking for a push here. Honestly, I think they're just going to wait for the next Aegis. At this point, unless they get a pick off, nothing's happening.
Yeah, I actually forgot Laguna was pure when it's actually got the eggs.
Oh, let's see. This might be the pickoff on a Mighty Savior, pulling it back in with the Scythe. The damage for the Queen Pain is pretty nice, and there's your Ethblade Dagon. And that'll be your pickoff. Sniper does have buyback, but GGuard find an opening.
Yeah, good stuff there for GGuard, though. They actually have an Observer Ward in Arcanys' base. That was the only reason that Winter went in there. He had vision of the Sniper, he made a beeline for him, went for the lasso, just pulled him right down, and GGuard just went, hey, on the poor Sniper. So that's going to be the main DPS of Arcanys down. Now, what's going to happen at this point, though? Is GGuard going to take it slow? Are they just going to try and take 2 lanes? Or will they try and focus down 1? They've got the mid lane really pushed at this point. So there is going to be a really nice blink, though, by the Earthshaker. Going to go forward. But Ben, he's taking quite a bit of damage. Buyback has been used on the Sniper. And the Witch Doctor, he has gone for the Witch Doctor Ward. It's not really going to kill anybody, but they will get a burst down onto the line, Yamate, with the E-Blade as well as the Dagon. Going to finish him off. Ling being hit by Mighty Savior. This Sniper is going to be really careful. He's going to be caught by Ling. He will get Chronosphere though. That's the secondary Chronosphere of the game, and there is going to be the lasso. Winter actually walks into it, which is interesting, but there is going to be the killing of the Sniper against. That's a dieback. They will get Heinrich as well. No buyback. This might be it for Arcanys. They've got nothing left to defend their base.
Yeah, might as well just take the tier 3, take the barracks, and then go for the throne. That's everybody down. The only one that can buy back is Bristleback, and at this point, I'm not sure if he can do anything meaningful. He's going to try his darndest. But play hard, I don't think there's much surviving this. Or GGuard could just play this safe and take 2 lanes of barracks, get megas. There's no reason to rush it either. The second Chrono was huge. The first one was pretty mediocre because of the defensive capabilities of Arcanys with the Ethereal Blade and the Ghost Scepters on all of their heroes. The damage that Ben was able to put out was severely limited. But for the second one, Arcanys had blown their entire kit and got caught out of position, and that Sniper dying the second time is pretty much a nail in the coffin. Arcanys might be able to hold against these mega creeps, but honestly, I think GGuard just end the game here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure GGuard, they're just going to say, okay, we've got mega creeps. We may as well just finish up the game at this point. And even though Arcanys, they are going to start respawning. They do have decent creep pushing, but I bet GGuard's just saying, okay, let's just finish it up. We've still got 40 seconds left till the sniper actually comes back, and they're going to go for kills instead. They want to go and play hard. They haven't gone for the last 8, never mind. They do get the lasso, and they are going to get a Chronosphere as well onto the Lion. So 2 heroes, again, who have just respawned, are going to be picked off yet again, and now Earthshaker, he's been hexed up in his own base. They're going to go for some Fountain Dives here, so Winter going to go pull out poor Ramos, and that's going to be the GG call coming out from Arcanys. This is pretty much game. They can't defend. All their heroes are dead. So great stuff coming out from GGuard this game.
Yeah, 2-0 victory over Arcanys, but that game number 2 was by no means easy. It was very entertaining to watch, a lot of good fights, but I think in the end what did it was just the initiation power of GGuard with the lassos and with the double Chronosphere in that last fight. They were able to pull it through. Well played. GGuard are going to hold on to their cash for the time being. We'll have to see later on in the GGuard challenge if they're going to be able to do so. How this works is that they're going to be going against different teams every couple of days, and if the enemy team wins a best of 3, they're given $500. For just one best of 3, it's a pretty slick deal, so we'll just have to see how this all plays out. I've been GrandisV. You can find me at GrandisV on Twitter, and my co-caster has been Danily, which I believe you can find at DanilyCast on Twitter as well. Thanks for tuning in. For the time being, the stream's going to go offline here on GoSuTV1, but if you like the casting, you can follow us here as well. We'll have more coming on later in the morning, evening, or wherever it is where you're tuning in from. Thanks for tuning in, and well, that'll be it for now.